Let's print and paint some fantasy terrain. Before we start, check this out. I was given this adorable crocheted ghost made by Al. I've put their Instagram in the description. They are hilarious, and the ghost is now my most prized possession. That is all. My local gaming group and I have started dipping into Mordheim. One guy is a tattoo artist named Puzzled Panther who is making a big Mordheim board. I thought I'd help populate the board with some buildings. So here's how to paint some of those. I'm going for efficiency in something that is hopefully replicable. You can do it again, you know what I mean. I recently got this awesome Mordheim-y Dark Souls-y terrain from the Forgotten Towns set by My Dungeon. Use the code in the description for money off on my mini factory. They print without supports, which is very nice. I printed mine with a 0.4mm nozzle and a 0.14mm layer height. I enabled thick bridges to help it print. I printed the buildings in black filament to try to limit how carefully I needed to paint. This way, if I missed any areas, they'd just be a shadow in black. I sprayed all the buildings from 45 degrees with spray filler for the zenithal highlight. This can help cut down on layer lines and smooth rough surfaces. After that, I sprayed directly down with white spray paint to increase contrast. You can see how much detail these buildings have, which the zenithal highlight really showcases. Next, I sprayed the stone with either red or blue airbrush paint to give it a little bit of color. Then it was time to paint all of the wood. I tried using my airbrush for this, but I found that I was using up tons of paint and the overspray was getting kind of ridiculous. So, to the brushes we go. For the paints, you can use whatever you want. I normally use cheapo craft paint, but I was just sent Monument Hobby's new Expert acrylic paints, so I'm gonna get a little fancy and try those out. They apparently can be thinned a bunch and keep their vibrancy. We will be the judge of that. I used a big ol' brush for this and thinned down the paint to a glaze consistency so it would seep into the nooks and crannies. I gotta say it really did stay vibrant. I took a red, yellow, and blue that I thought went together to paint the roofs. I like it when they all have different colors. 'Tis more interesting. The yellow didn't have amazing coverage, so I switched to a different yellow and did another coat, which definitely helped. Yellow is tricky. Everything else I tried had great coverage though. I mixed some white and brown to make a stucco color and roughly stippled a stucco texture onto, you guessed it, the stucco. I tried to make the center brighter than the edges. I went over everything that was supposed to be metal with jet fuel metallic paint. I dry brushed everything with a delicate dry brushing of parchment craft paint. This ties everything together and highlights all the details. I used this big old brush. The wood planks are weirdly sharp, so please don't use your favorite dry brush. The dry brushing step made a massive difference, probably the most important step out of everything. I also stippled on some Ryza rust to add a little color to the metal. The final step was airbrushing the shadows and dirt on the ground using a brown speed paint from Army Painter called Strong Tone. This is kind of like the pin washing step I normally do with miniatures. I played around with the idea of adding grass tufts and flocking, but decided against it to keep it as versatile as possible. That's it. Here it is on Puzzled Panther's board. Very cool. Make sure to head over to my mini factory to get some My Dungeon buildings for your fantasy games, and don't forget to use the code iPaintSmallThings for money off. The people at My Dungeon are super passionate and nice. I messaged them about the terrain after seeing it a hot minute ago and loving it. It was amazing because they apparently had seen and really loved my Chessmen video and were happy to collaborate. It's cool collaborating with people with whom you have a super secret mutual admiration. If you liked how the Monument Hobbies expert acrylics looked, I've got a link and code in the description for that too. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching, and thank you to my Patreon supporters for helping motivate me to continue making videos. Like, comment, and share if you enjoyed. Alright, bye-bye.